Hey friends, welcome back to Marketing for New Musicians. I'm Alexander Paul Burton, and today I want to talk about one of my absolute favorite production secrets, Soundfonts. Now, the name isn't obvious at first, but it is pretty obvious. A sound font is basically the same as the fonts that you use on your computer. So the fonts in your computer, obviously, they come originally from different fonts that we would have written, in calligraphy, in longhand, obviously for instruments instead. Now, I've been using sound fonts for years. I discovered them, I think, when I was about 13 or 14, so back in 2003, as my stepfather worked as a radio producer, radio presenter for Radio Cornwall, BBC Radio Cornwall. He was very interested in these kinds of things. I use S for Zando, I can't pronounce it, in Ableton for my sound fonts. But for anyone who doesn't know, a sound font is basically a compact, flexible way to load a real instrument sample and play them like an actual synth or like a Baroque harpsichord or concert grand piano. So you could literally play on a concert grand piano. It's fantastic. They don't cost hundreds of dollars or pounds. They're often free. Made by enthusiasts. They're lightweight and they don't murder your CPU like some of the more bloated orchestral VSTs out there. They often are quite small, under 1 gigabyte, or well, actually that's quite large, but 200 or 300 megabytes. So if you don't have huge amounts of RAM, then that's perfect. Or if you're doing a multi-instrumental piece on Ableton and you want to keep it slim but authentic. For me, Soundfonts have been a lifeline, especially when I'm composing pieces for piano, like the ones I've been uploading lately, or for some more intricate experimental work like the harpsichord suite that I've been crafting. There's one on Amazon Music at the moment, but I'm working on that for fall, winter. It has some nasty, fast arpeggios. I say nasty in a good way. I've been working in F minor, my favorite key, especially on the harpsichord. Being able to mock things up quickly with sound fonts lets me test out ideas before I take them to the real instrument or start overdubbing and working more intricately on pieces. So actually, when I go to the piano studio, and I've been working with a harpsichord sound font, that confidence that it gave me, it makes me feel like I'm playing on a good instrument. So when I go to the studio and I'm playing on a grand piano, I play it so much more effective, like it just sounds better. It doesn't stop there. I've been doing something a bit mad lately, and well, I've been doing it over the past year, but more so lately, I've been taking these classical and Baroque instrument patches, harpsichords, chamber strings, recorders, and weaving them into my house music remixes. That's right. I record my live piano improv sets, then I flip them into something more electronic, so I use Melodyne, a great tool. Melodyne allows you to transfer the WAV data or the sound into MIDI, and then you can get that MIDI data and then you can turn that and use it in Ableton. Now, Ableton, the more professional version, does allow you to directly translate sound to MIDI, but I prefer to use Melodyne because it's more robust. But it gives this beautiful, strange contrast. Think Vivaldi meets Deep House in a Toronto basement. Well, I don't live in a basement. Tools-wise, if you're curious about where to start, S for Zando, that's S-F-O-R-Z-A-N-D-O, is a great sound font player. It's lightweight, it has loads of different options, it's stable, it's free, and it plays nicely with Ableton as well. And you can do it standalone, so if you want to load a larger sound font and just record directly through S4 Zando, you can. Ableton can be quite heavy sometimes. So you just drag it, you load your SF. You obviously have to connect your MIDI controller, so in my case a Korg and an LSS125. And usually I will have researched online, or I have the same sound font that I've been using for years. So I've used a Yamaha CF3 or CF2, CF3 Concert Grand Maestro by Mats Helgeson for years. And then you put that into Ableton. Don't be afraid to experiment, especially if you're a new musician or started producing and playing around with things. The shiny plugins and expensive libraries are nice, expensive, but creativity doesn't come from your wallet. It comes from your willingness to break the rules and combine things that shouldn't go together. So a Baroque 1720s harpsichord and house music. So that's the takeaway. I mean, it sounds amazing when you can do this, when you can have an authentic, actual piano. I mean, the Korg and Ableton's libraries are great. Obviously, they're fantastic. I couldn't do better. But there's something unique about using a sound font that nobody else uses. So I'm pretty certain that in my house music, in my remixes, I use sound fonts that nobody else uses. Those samples do not exist anywhere else. I'm pretty happy with that. So that's it for today. Sound fonts are legit. Google it. Google sound fonts. You'll see straight away that they're the realm of nerdy musicians who've got a lot of time on their hands, but do care about authenticity. They do care about sampling and recording the most beautiful version of those old instruments and even new instruments. And you can even get it for violins. So whether you're scoring chamber music, remixing your own piano recordings and using them in electronic mixes, or making something weird that no one else has heard before, I would highly recommend using sound fonts. Just spend 20 minutes online. Well, that's all from me today. Just a quick one. I've got some more sessions to record now using sound fonts, and maybe I'll remix that into something unhinged later on. So stay creative, stay curious, and as always, don't piss your money up the wall on expensive plugins. Keep your money, find things for free, and find enthusiasts who want to support your musical journey without breaking the bank.